I went to Arizona State.
Right.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way to traffic. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls off and buries the flag. Richardson tries, not for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Daniels takes his shot for Darby.
So what happened last night? What did last night's activities consist of?
Yeah, we did. It's called the Fight Song Collab. So we have teams, they get together and they remix our fight song in their own way and they have fun with it. It was by far the best fight song collab that we've had this year. It was pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Who was the winning team?
I don't know the name, but trying to think of the guys. Douglas was on the team, Sam, Kamari, Tommy Romano. There were a few others, but those were like the star singers in their areas.
What were your impressions of today?
It was a decent day. Like I told the guys, I didn't think it was our best day, not our worst day. It's just a decent day. First day up here, it is different, altitude. It is hot. I know people say it's hot in Phoenix. It's not here because you're closer to the sun and you're on turf. So it's a little bit different. So to be out here, 2 hours and change with walkthrough. That is taxing, but I thought the guys did a good job. Decent energy, not great.
How's Kanye coming along?
He's so much more comfortable in the spread offense, spread pro style offense. What I mean by that is not under center, right? And not at 3.5 yards at times behind the quarterback, 4 yards. So he's done an unbelievable job just getting more comfortable, catches the ball in the backfield better.
I know you've talked about the tight ends being competitive. What have you just seen from Kamari and picking up the offense and his growth?
Yeah, but Kamari's super mature. He's a great kid. He's got a great personality. He's picking it up. He's getting more physical. He's not soft at all. He's a physical kid, but we practice physical, and he's picking up to that tempo. He had some really good blocks today out there. I know his pass catch ability is really, really premier for a tight end. So it's the other stuff that's going to separate him.
Kenny, when you were talking about winning close games earlier this year, you talked about being able to rely on your bigger teammates around you. How much of that takes place?
Huge. I mean, up here is where you really get to know things about your guys that you don't know, right? We have fire pits at night where you talk about yourself, what your why is. You kind of go in depth about you know, what makes you you and what makes you tick, what have been your biggest obstacles in life. And you really get to know people at a deeper level. And I think that's what builds people together. That's what builds the comfort to be yourself. You know, I see guys out here today, you know, Ben Aletheo he's said about 4 words since he got here, and we're in that little deal the other day. Last night, he pops out and like does a dance. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's what he is behind closed doors. That's Ben. He's just not comfortable yet. And that fires me up to see the personalities of these guys. And I know that eventually people will all be comfortable here to be themselves all the time. Turbo's a great example of that transition from uncomfortable to comfortable. And so it's really fun to see those guys transition into they can just be themselves. I think this is a big part of it.
But along those lines, like how different is it this year compared to last? Just maybe guys unsure of themselves, unsure of the collective, but with so many returners that you guys have.
Yeah, I think it's different conversations, you know. And maybe last year everybody was so new you didn't get as deep into your why. Maybe you were a little shy. I think every year that you're around the same people, you can dig a little bit deeper. People are a little bit more comfortable, which makes a bigger bond, right? A longer bond. So, yeah, I think it's a little different because guys know each other. But at the end of the day, like last year's history, like, it's awesome that we did it. It's cool, but come on, like it's over last year. Like this is this year. We have teams in our league that have unbelievable talent. Teams in our league that are loaded, and we have to take it one game at a time. And like we talked about last year, it's can we just get this one? Can we just get this game? Can we just get this day? Can we just get this moment? And then celebrate, cry, whatever it is at the end of that moment, and do it again. And the teams who do that the best win.
Kenny, with Kanye, his understanding of, sorry, Michelle.
That's okay.
With his understanding of the playbook and learning the way you guys do things, does that come just because of maturity of, you know, his previous school and everything that he experienced there?
Yeah, I mean, his previous program, I mean, we had a no-brainer about the type of coach that he was coming from. He's coming from one of the best coaches in college football. We had no doubt in the culture he was coming from, no doubt in the work ethic he was going to have, the demand that, you know, it was going to take to make it there. So those checked all the boxes. Scheme-wise, we're drastically different. So I would say it was more the scheme, and it wasn't even the learning of it. It was physically seeing the blocks happen at different depths, seeing the types of blocks happen is a little bit different for him. So that was really the transition. But that program's had, and the coach has done such a great job there that from a culture standpoint of work and all that, I mean, it was status quo from coming in here.
You mentioned going back to close games, the fact that you won so many of those last year, how much does that bleed over into this year where you guys have been in all these situations and never flinched?
Yeah, I think it gives our guys confidence that it doesn't matter what the situation is, a game, that we can still win the football game. I mean, lost versus Texas, but we were right there at the end and we never quit. Texas State down 14, right, at the point, never quit, or in the, I think, the third quarter, whenever that was, right, never quit. You know, Kansas, never quit. So, I mean, there were moments throughout the season that our guys just never quit, and I think that does carry over. In terms of winning those moments, it's the teams who prepare for the moments, the teams who prepare the best, and they don't have to over-try. When you're connected, you can go look at the guy to your left and your right, know that they put in the work necessary to win this moment. It gives you confidence to go do your job. It's when you look to the guy to your left, you're like, God, this dude, I don't know if he knows what he's got. I don't know if I trust him. That's when you try to do too much. Now you got 2 people doing too much, times by 11, right? Whatever that equals, it's a lot.
You mentioned all the players that are now experiencing this for the second, third time. That leads to deeper conversations. But does your approach change coming up here, knowing that so many guys have experienced this?
No, I mean, the only thing that's changed is, you know, we do have to be protective over some of our guys in terms of reps, and we got to trust our guys. Hey, you're a guy who's earned the trust that if you don't feel good, like, hey, you shouldn't do that set, right? Whereas last year, everybody was kind of earning our trust. I think this year there's some guys that have earned our trust, and if they say they don't feel good, we've got to listen. And we've got to say, okay, you need to sit out these periods. So I'd say where have we grown? It's more the trust factor with our guys. We know who we can trust, and we know who's not just trying to get out of the work. We know the guys that love the work, and when the guys that love the work say, hey, I need to throttle it down, we throttle it down.
Are you going to start early tomorrow, too?
The plan is to start early. It just is this turf with the cleats and rubber, if it gets to 95, 96, 97, which is the projected, you know, temperatures, it's just too hot on the feet. I'm not worried really about the temperature in the air. It's the turf combination with all the rubber on rubber. Feet just start to get super, super, super hot.
And then you touched on guys finding their individual whys out here. What do you feel like this team's why is? What do you feel like the why is behind this team?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had like a why. I think everybody's got a different why. I think the question is, can you put your individual why aside to say, like, let's go do something special? Because at the end of the day, like, individual accolades come and go. Like, to have success in a silo is boring. Like, imagine if your entire life is you're the most successful person and you lived in a silo. Is that actually success? Well, who are you successful to? Nobody. The biggest thing about college football is team success breeds individual success. And I think our guys have bought into team success beats individual success. And what success is just being the best we can be every day. And if we do that, then one day we're going to wake up and we're going to be celebrating. One day we're going to wake up and then there's going to be individual celebrations. And you're going to have somebody to celebrate with other than yourself. You're going to have a crew of teammates that are constantly calling you, texting you like Scat does, right, asking how you're doing. I think that is success, is when you become older, when you become my age, people still text you. Like, you still matter to people. Like, your relationships and what you did to people mattered. And I think that's what really I hope that our guys take away from this program, is that people make everything. People make your life, people make football, people make the place. If you pour into people, people will pour into you back, and you'll wake up one day and say, holy cow, you're the head coach at Arizona State.
What were you most impressed about with today's practice?
Most impressed about? Nothing. It was decent. I couldn't say there was one thing that I was like blown away with. So nothing. Like I said, it wasn't a great day. It wasn't a bad day. So I wasn't most impressed with anything.
What has Jeff Sims brought to the offense? Just his decision to come back and keep working the sand.
It just shows his belief in the teaching that he's getting. Right. I think Coach Royal does a phenomenal job. I think this is a great place to play quarterback. I'm an offensive-minded guy. I'm a quarterback guy. He's a quarterback guy, and to be able to hear two voices talk to you, and two voices that are, on the same page, not two voices that are teaching you different things. I think he saw the benefit of that, and I think what that does to the program, I think it's proof of concept that you can come here and get better. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? And if you're a player, you're a competitor, you want to be the best you can be when you leave. I think he's showing everybody that he thought this was the best place for him to leave college football, the best player.
You mentioned that the running back room could be looking like a committee situation this year. Sometimes committee can breed competition. How do you feel like those guys have responded to that competition?
Yeah, they're all very close. But, I can be close with my brother and want to beat his butt, right? But he's still my brother. I think that's what good competition is. Bad competition, right, is you're not close with the people around you. I compete the hardest for the people I'm the closest to. My best friends, my family. Those are the people when I compete. That's somebody I'll never meet again. I compete the hardest for my closest people. I think that's the goal of the running back room. That's what they have right now, is they have a competition of really, really close friends.
Kenny, when you look at your team and your embrace has been embrace the hard. Have you seen players almost quit at campus? Embrace the hard, and then the hard is supposed to be great for you. The harder. You seen that up there?
Yeah, yes and no. I try to make this place a place that people look forward to, right? Less than a grind. I'm all about the grind. I'm all about that. I think you come up here to build relationships. One, I think that's priority A is relationships here. It could rain, and we may never practice up here. And if that were to happen, we would still come up here, because priority A is the relationships, team camaraderie. So I wouldn't say hard. I would say the challenges of these facilities are hard. It's a different hard. We have a 340-pounder sleeping on a single mattress on a one spring bed up top, falling down at night because he has to go to the bathroom, and waking everybody up, stumbling over the person on the ground, and then they scream and 40 people wake up, right? Whether that happened or not, I don't know. I just made that story up, but it sounds real, right? And the real challenge is, I think it's that. I think the challenge is you're probably a little tired. It's not as easy. You're not comfortable, is what this place brings. You're not comfortable, but guess what? You're not comfortable, but they have more fun than they ever have back in Phoenix.
Have you had to talk someone off the ledge. I've been up here many years. I've heard guys that have tried to quit, hitchhike back home. Has that happened to you?
No, it hasn't. Like I said, I hope that never happens here. I think if that's happening here, I mean, I'm not saying never, it could happen. There could be extreme circumstances, but I think it's our job to inspire people to want to be here, inspire people to attack difficult, not run from difficult. And if our program is not inspiring people to attack difficult, attack challenges, attack change, I think we're failing. And guess what? We will fail. It's part of it. Every growth structure, you've never seen anybody grow like that. There's growth, there's failure. There's growth, there's failure. There's growth, there's failure. But at the end of this thing, 5, 7, 8 years, are we up here? And that's the real challenge, is through the failures, can you still end up higher than you were? And I think that's our job as coaches is, there's going to be struggles, but how do we get them to continue to grow?
Along those lines, you said the wedding photo of your son, this photo, why this photo? Why does that photo?
It's so old school. Like, half these kids haven't been in the woods. Like, half of them haven't climbed a mountain. They're at a camp that I already said, I mean, probably should be condemned. That's a joke, obviously, right? Joke. But like, the facilities are just, haven't been really touched in a long time, right? Which is awesome, right? For what that is. And they end with all of the ASU fans, 2,000, 3,000 people, up in the mountains, something people have done their entire lives, potentially since they were a little kid, watching you guys sing the fight song and then take that photo. It's just special. It's like, that's a special, it's special, it's unique, it's old school, it's family, it's everything right with college football.
And you're not even sentimental, really. Like,
no, I'm not a sentimental person. That's a sentimental photo. That's one that, like, I'll have them all hung up in my office or at home for sure. I'll eventually make a book of them all. Like, that's a special moment of a group of guys who are, you know, family for life.
Can you explain what happened with Jacob's family and just all the guys coming over?
Oh, you know, Jacob's dad's been through some stuff, so we just had our team break it down on him.
I have no clue. I'm pretty excited to read it. I'm sure it just says something about, you know, being grateful, you know, struggles that you've been through to get to this point, and then just to say, look back from a year, and just, you know, see the improvement you've made.
How does it feel just now versus a year ago being here?
You know, I was still fighting for a job. I was still competing with Jeff. You know, had a lot of belief in myself. You know, not a lot of people had a lot of belief in me leading up to this point. So it was definitely a different outlook. I came out here last night and did my stretching routine like I did last year. And it was just a cool memory, you know, to get back to your roots and, you know, just kind of look out here. You know, this reminds me a lot of back home where I'm from. So just to, you know, get back in that mindset and understand, you know, the work that you put in. And then to get to this point, pretty cool.
What has your relationship been like with Jeff, and how has that kind of grown with his decision to come back and run it back with you?
That's my guy. I mean, you know, you talk about a guy that shows up to the facility every single day, puts on a smile, you know, does his best for the team. You know, it's a hard position for him, really talented player, and not being the starter every single game. But, you know, I look up to him in a lot of ways, just in terms of that. You know, he's great with it. You know, everybody around him, he's grown as a player and an individual. You know, got to hear him speak at a campfire last night, and you know, just the things that he's been through and his thought process on life and football. You know, it's pretty cool for me to look up to that.
Sam, you touched on this being kind of feelings of home. I guess how nice it is to just be out in nature. I know you're an introspective person, just kind of taking that time to reflect and evaluate.
Yeah, I mean, just being out here, like I said last night, looking under the stars. You know, not much light pollution, trees. It was a full moon or close to last night, so it was a vibe. I just sat out here and really enjoyed it.
For the guys that have been here now, how do you feel like you can build that connection with those guys?
Yeah, it's different than last year. You know, we were cool coming at this point last year, but we didn't really start getting tight until we started winning games last year. And you know, so this year, you know, we're really tight, and that can be helpful and hurtful in some ways. You know, it can be helpful because, you know, we have camaraderie and stuff like that, but, you know, now do guys feel too comfortable with each other to not push each other, not push each other's buttons and things like that. So we got to kind of find that, and, you know, we've done a really good job in practicing pretty hard. So just continue to harp on that.
How do you think the first practice went up here?
It was good. Definitely some things I want back. I slipped a couple times. Want those plays back. I'm gonna get that under control. But overall, I was pretty proud of the effort. Come back tomorrow and build on that.
Sam, you talk about the camaraderie with the returners. Are there any new guys who this is their first time at Camp Team? You kind of felt a stronger connection being built?
No, we've been here for 16 hours. So it's not like too much of a connection's been built from that. We've already been, building that connection throughout our time back home. So, I don't think anything's going to change in a day. I might answer that question a little differently in the next 4 days.
What's your weight practice, away from the practice field thing you most looking forward to?
This week, we had a pretty cool remix of the fight song yesterday. That was cool, but looking forward to the hike. That was fun last year, going to the little water spot and just hanging out with the guys overall.
Can you give us a sample of last night? Were you by yourself doing your stretch routine?
Yeah, I was just chilling by myself.
Okay, was it on the field?
Yeah.
About how long were you out here just kind of taking
I don't know, like an hour and a half. Yeah.
You gonna make everybody put a top one out?
Yeah, we did that last year, so we got to repeat it for sure.
Can you give us a sample of the remix?
I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
Coach said you were one of the stars, though.
Yeah, it was my team that we got the victory, so it was good to put on. Everybody got hyped. They were jumping. Dilly said it was his favorite one he's ever seen. So just another core memory with the guys. Phones away. Just being out here, special experience.
You don't want to lose in anything, do you?
No.
Sam, how unique is this from, any football experience you had in this environment, a football field in the middle of the woods, just being out here?
Yeah, it's cool. We were sitting at the campfire last night, and we're just talking who's done this before at a different program. Coach Arroyo's been to 26, fall camps. Waz, our offensive analyst, has been to I don't know how many, probably 20 or something like that, and they've never done it somewhere else. So it's cool to just be at this situation, at Arizona State with this group of guys. And, I just keep talking about how blessed I am, but, really I am, and everybody else feels it around them.
And obviously a lot of new receivers in the receiver room. I know we've talked about it, but the tight ends, that group is physical and grown. How do you feel you've started to get on the same page with the tight ends?
Yeah, just, going throughout summer, spring ball with them, talking through different things, second year in the system for Harp and Shaman, and then 15 came in, and, he's had a really good fall camp. All the guys are elevating, and they're elevating each other. They have a great camaraderie within the group, so that's only going to build.
You guys good? Who's got the big things?
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Had a acapella style type of remix to the theme.
How did the fight song remixes go yesterday?
The fight song remixes were actually the best that I think they've been since I've been here. Sam's group, I could say they definitely stole the show and they had a good song.
How do you think your group did?
I think we did pretty good. We had a acapella style type of remix to the theme to the song, and I think Isaiah Isofa.
Can you give us a little sample of it?
Huh?
You give us a little sample of it?
It just involves a little snapping, a little, just a little remix to the fight song.
Did you put the capsule thing last year? Did you write something down?
Oh yeah, I did. We took some things up there, some letters up there, and dang, it's gonna be. I didn't even really think about that. It's gonna be good to see what I wrote down on that. I think I remember what I wrote down, but yeah, just going up there and just opening those letters, that's always a good part of the tradition.
Well, I was going to ask you if you would mind sharing what you think you might have written back then. Do you remember?
I probably wrote something about just, being patient and staying on the right path and, just trusting my journey, trusting God, and just trusting my work, something like that. I've always leaned on that foundation, so that's probably something I wrote.
Will you write another letter this year going back up?
Yeah, I definitely will write another letter, just, to myself a year from now.
Okay.
So,
and I imagine it'll be a different message.
It's going to be a different message. It's going to be probably a lot different.
Okay. How do you think that just helps you guys just kind of, I guess you can measure your progress that way?
I guess it gives you just a step back into the past and your perspective of where you were from the past year and just where you are now, and just realize the progress that you've made and just the steps you're making towards your goals and the things you want to achieve.
Where do you feel like that progress is for you from the last year?
I definitely think I've got better just as a person, as a man, as a player, just in general. I think I've grown just from the aspect of maturity, just learning new things that I didn't know last year. So definitely in that aspect.
Kyson, does the way that Kanye carries himself, goes about his business, can you tell that he spent the past couple years at Army? Does that shine through in his personality and his game?
Yeah, he's definitely one. You can tell in just his his actions, the way he moves. He just moves I don't know. He kind of give you that soldier type of vibe or whatever. But yeah, you can definitely tell at some points he's changing a little bit. You can tell he's adapting to the area, but you can tell some of the Army ways still on him.
Are you surprised with how quickly he's picked up this playbook? Because coming from Army, that's a wildly different offense than what you guys are running. How have you seen him just kind of grasp those concepts?
Definitely, yeah. He's picked up the playbook pretty well. It's just good seeing that he's getting adjusted. Especially we pass a lot in this offense too. Just seeing that he's able to adapt to that, so it's definitely been good for his game.
Kyson, from a motivational standpoint, Coach talked about how a lot of times, people talk about a lot about Scat last year and how important he was to you guys in the team.
Yeah.
But that a lot of the national media attention has been hey, well, how are they going to replace Scat? And that some of the guys in the running back room might take it a little bit personal, but not being able to maybe step up into that role. What do you make of the motivation going into this year and kind of being able to be that potential player that can step into that role?
I don't really look at it as a negative, what is the offense without Scat? I look at it like an opportunity, just to shine through the offense and just to shine in his absence and just, show what I could do. And that's definitely something that, I've been working hard to prove just, since a freshman, just, coming through all the steps of, just being a player here. So it's definitely something I can't wait to show.
You mentioned immediately the importance of being a leader in this room now, having a couple of years into the system now, being one of the senior guys in the room.
Yeah.
So what do you make of your ability to kind of be a leader so far during the beginning of camp, having a lot of young guys in the running back room that are kind of getting better?
Yeah, it's crazy to feel it, just to think that I've been here so long. It kind of shows just how time just goes by fast. But I've definitely just taken a step into that leadership role just because a lot of the freshmen. I've been in their shoes, and I know I share some of the same experiences. Some of the same hardships that they're going through right now. So I just know as a freshman, that would have been good for me just have that guy that's just kind of guide me through the steps or guide me through the hard times.
What's the next progression for the running back room before the season starts? Still with a lot of time left between now and the end of camp.
I think just knowing our roles, just definitely just being more versatile just in the things that we do, and just harping on absolutely harping down on just knowing the offense and getting our T's down to our T's.
What's your favorite part about Camp T?
It's so much to like about Camp T, but I'd say my favorite part would have to be hiking up to the top of the mountain. It's definitely something that it's a full body workout, and I think a lot of that. It's good to see a lot of the new guys and some of the hardships they go through going up, because it's actually easier going up than it is coming down. So it's just funny and fun just to share that experience with those guys.
Kyson, sorry if you've already answered this, but Kenny talked about the friendly competition in the room.
Easy one first. What are your thoughts? First day up here at Camp T. Just the whole experience so far. Well, first practice, but then obviously first night and now first day.
It's been an experience so far. It's definitely interesting. Me being a Detroit guy, I'm not used to this environment, so it's been cool to have my teammates to get used to with me, some of the new guys. So it's been cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know Coach and everybody always talks about adjusting to no technology, but is it, I guess, adjusting to the beds the tougher part?
Yeah, last night I was trying to stretch out a little bit. I can't really. My feet, I'm on the top bunk with Cam on the lower bunk, so my feet hanging off and stuff, so it's cool.
But now, like, I mean, being in it, so Coach Mons, I mean, working with him, you know, they're bringing in guys. He wants to set a tone, being physical. It's a tight end group, even physical. But from the time you got here till now, how do you feel that you've picked up the playbook and just kind of getting comfortable into the rhythm of the offense?
I feel like having guys like Coach Mons, our GA, Jeremy Platt, and other guys like Shaman and Cam to help me through it. It's been a breeze, really. Well, obviously, not really a breeze. It's been some tough days, but they've been helping me get through it with a new technique and being an asset in the run game as well as the pass game, so it's been cool.
And obviously a lot of it is watching film too. How have they, you're accustomed to watching film, but how have they helped you in that and just in picking up, you know, what Coach Roy wants to do in the offense? I mean, like Coach Mon says, I know it's this big mantra, like you're going to block and be physical, but we also know that you can catch the ball. But just in the film room, how do guys like you're saying, like Shaman and Cam help?
I would say a big part of that has been Jeremy Platt. Like, he makes different cut-ups for us to see NFL guys, to see the best college guys, to watch them, the things they're doing to be successful. So that's been a big thing.
And then for Sam, obviously, I mean, you always talk about a quarterback getting on the same page with receivers. And, I mean, tight end, you're going out passing. But how do you feel that you've adjusted to Sam and that he's adjusted, you know, to you guys as a group? Because everybody, you know, likes the ball in a certain spot. It's not always going to be right in that spot. But how do you feel he's just kind of, you know, you guys have built that chemistry with him and he's built it with you?
It's definitely a cool thing to see. Like, now that we're in camp, his trust is going up with me. And no matter if we're open or not, we make the play. So we thank Sam for that.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the, talking during practice. I mean, and I even was teasing Coach Mons. I mean, there could be a formation with, not that there wouldn't be a receiver on the field, but literally it could be all tight ends on the field and maybe even tight ends like with running backs. I mean, how do you feel just about like the weapons that you're playing around?
I would say it's a blessing to be able to have this many weapons. 4 tight ends on the field, you don't know whether we can run or pass. We can all route run, we can all block really well. So I'll say it's a blessing.
And when, I mean, obviously last year, I mean, what Cam Scatterby did is huge, but when a back is running like that and you have somebody, like Sip and a Kanye who, I mean, speed, power, and I mean, even
like Coach Mons, our GA, Jeremy Platt, and other guys like Shaman and Cam to help me through it. It's been a breeze, really. Well, obviously, not really a breeze. It's been some tough days, but they've been helping me get through it with a new technique and being an asset in the run game as well as the pass game. So it's been cool.
And obviously, a lot of it is watching film too. How have they? You're accustomed to watching film, but how have they helped you in that and just in picking up, you know, what Coach Roy wants to do in the offense. I mean, like Coach Mon says, I know it's this big mantra, like you're going to block and be physical, but we also know that you can catch the ball. But just in the film room, how do guys like you're saying, like Shimon and Cam help?
I would say a big part of that has been Jeremy Platt. Like he makes different cut-ups for us to see NFL guys, to see the best college guys, to watch them, the things they're doing to be successful. So that's been a big thing.
And then for Sam, obviously, I mean, you always talk about a quarterback getting on the same page with receivers, and I mean, tight end, you're going out passing. But how do you feel that you've adjusted to Sam and that he's adjusted, you know, to you guys as a group? Because everybody, you know, likes the ball in a certain spot, and it's not always going to be right in that spot. But how do you feel he's just kind of, you know, you guys have built that chemistry with him, and he's built it with you?
It's definitely a cool thing to see. Like now that we're in camp, his trust is going up with me and the guys in our room. Sometimes he just throws it to us, no matter if we're open or not. And we make the play, so we thank Sam for that.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the, you know, talking during practice. I mean, and I even was teasing Coach Mons. I mean, there could be a formation with, you know, not that there wouldn't be a receiver on the field, but literally it could be all tight ends on the field, and maybe even tight ends like with running backs. I mean, how do you feel just about like the weapons that you're playing around?
I would say it's a blessing to be able to have this many weapons. 4 tight ends on the field, you don't know whether we're going to run or pass, because we can all route run, we can all block really well, so I'll say it's a blessing.
And when, I mean, obviously last year, I mean, what Cam Scatterby did is huge, but when a back is running like that and you have somebody, you know, like Sip and a Kanye who, you know, I mean, speed, power, and I mean, even the young guys, I mean, I know like Jason Brown and like Demarius have showed, but like when you're blocking for guys like that, how much more, I don't want to say fun, but just how much more challenging does it make the offense to defend, but also fun for you guys as well?
I would say I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just hard for defenses. It's not hard for us, hard for defenses. So it just opens up everything, open up the run game, the pass game. It's just fun.
And then how did you do in the fight song? I heard Coach Gillingham talk about the remix. That's Sam's team won, but how do you feel? Oh, so you guys won.
We did good. Yeah.
Any you want to drop any lines? I mean, you don't have to. Sam did. But
I think it was fight, team, slide. We don't fall. We had like a whole different freestyle, so it was cool.
Nice, very cool. What and then as you guys, you know, I mean, obviously. First day up here at Camp T. It's a whole experience so far. Well, first practice, but then obviously first night and now first day.
Well, it's been an experience so far. It's definitely interesting. Me being a Detroit guy, I'm not used to this environment, so it's been cool to have my teammates to get used to with me, some of the new guys. So
Coach, and everybody always talks about adjusting to no technology, but is it, I guess, to you guys as a group, because everybody, likes the ball in a certain spot, and it's not always going to be right in that spot, but how do you feel he's just kind of, you guys have built that chemistry with him and he's built it with you?
It's definitely a cool thing to see, like, now that we're in camp, his trust is going up with me and the guys in our room. Sometimes he just throws it to us, no matter if we're open or not. And we make the play, so we thank Sam for that.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the, talking during practice. I mean, and I even was teasing Coach Mons. I mean, there could be a formation with, not that there wouldn't be a receiver on the field, but literally it could be all tight ends on the field, and maybe even tight ends like with running backs. I mean, how do you feel just about like the weapons that you're playing around?
I would say it's a blessing to be able to have this many weapons. 4 tight ends on the field, you don't know whether we can run or pass. We can all route run, we can all block really well. So I'll say it's a blessing.
And obviously last year, what Cam Scatterby did is huge. But when a back is running like that, and you have somebody, like Sip and a Kanye who, speed, power, and even the young guys. I know like Jason Brown and like Demarius have showed. But like when you're blocking for guys like that, how much more, I don't want to say fun, but just how much more challenging does it make the offense to defend, but also fun for you guys as well?
I would say I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just hard for defenses. It's not hard for us, but hard for defenses. So it just opens up everything, open up the run game, the pass game. It's just fun.
And then how did you do in the fight song? I heard Coach Gillingham talk about the remix. That Sam's team won, but how do you feel? Oh, so you guys won.
Yeah, we did good. Yeah.
Any you want to drop any lines? You don't have to. Sam did, but
I think it was fight, team, slide. We don't follow. Then we had like a whole different freestyle, so it was cool.
Nice, very cool. What and then as you guys, obviously camp starts and you're getting ready, finally see a different opponent. But like, what's the tough part about like knowing that opening opponent for so long and just prepping for like one team?
Tough part right now, probably going against the same guys in practice every day. It's just, you get kind of irritated about it, but you just gotta go on each practice with the mindset, just getting better. I'm excited to go against a different opponent, so it's cool.
And then overall, in getting to know Coach Mons and stuff, but what's been the biggest thing for you in building a relationship with Coach Mons, and what has he just meant to you so far?
I think he's easy going. He's like one of us, to where he jokes with us, but he also knows when to put the foot down and say, hey, lock in. And I think in our room, what is special is we can have fun getting better. Like Coach Dilly says, have fun working harder than anybody in the country. So I think we definitely carry that motto on our side of the room.
And then lastly, has Clayton asked you to go snake hunting with him? And if he does, will you?
Oh, nah. I ain't messing with no snakes, nah.
Your consensus is popular with the rest of the team.
Yeah, today was our first day. We've been live with our 1s and 2s since we got our butt kick versus Texas. So it was a good day. It's hard to tackle people. So, today was rougher on the defense, but I kind of expected that. First day you're tackling, in 6 months, 7 months, that's difficult. And it showed up today. So obviously I don't call sacks as aggressively, but it was really just the tackling, and good job by our backs not getting tackled.
You got a little bit cooler temperature today this morning too, huh?
Yeah, it feels good. It was nice. It was a good day out here today. Cloud cover's key.
Malik had a good day. Kyson had a wheel route touchdown or whatever. It seems like those guys are stepping up.
All three of those backs had really good days. When you put on pads, we're like, oh man, we're going to see who steps up. And it's awesome to see all three of them step up today in their own roles. And the best part about it was they all three got excited about each other. And that's the sign that I look for in a team that's going to win football games, is when you have a really strong competition versus three real players, and they're all hyping each other up. At the end of the day, all those people are going to be better versions of themselves. They leave the program, and that's the goal.
What's it mean when you get fans coming up there?
It adds a little bit extra juice. So a little bit extra juice.
I was going to say, you talk about how much this tradition means to you. How much does it mean to you seeing how much these fans care with the Big Show?
Yeah, it's awesome. The best programs in the country, it matters to. And if we want to eventually be that, we're not even close to there yet. Do I have big dreams that we can be that? Yes, I do. But that's not just the people on this field that create that. That's the people who don't think they matter. They matter. and people showing up to stuff like this, people selling out a game, whatever it takes. Like, it all matters in college football, and that's what makes college football great.
Your backup corners, Nyland and Rodney Bimage, have a good camp. What do you think about those players?
Yeah, both those guys have had a good camp. I mean, Nyland started all over at another Division I school, and Rodney's been one of the most improved players in camp. He's had an unbelievable camp. So I definitely think our competitive depth right now at almost all positions or most positions is as best as it's been since we've been here.
How the last 2 nights been just with the guys getting really challenged?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, doing fire pits with your position group, then with your competition teams, doing coach's word. I mean, it's all good. It all matters. It all creates relationships that go beyond the game.
How can you really kind of like DJ Foster in this environment kind of spread that message?
Yeah, so he actually leads our, we get a coach and a player up there, and DJ leads I don't know what it's called, like a TED Talk, right, where he just goes through what your why is, what's your biggest obstacle you've overcome, and all those questions that guys get to answer in front of the team, so your teammates get to know you, and he kind of leads that. So it's a really cool thing for our guys to see a guy like DJ, who's kind of done what everybody wants to achieve to a point, get up and lead that.
You have such a veteran team. What have you felt about the urgency of younger players who may not be in the 2 deep but are battling? So
I feel like the growth from spring to now has been pretty good. In spring, they're trying to feel it out. I think we're flying around better. We're more physical. They're getting to know people. And I really think that's just the comfort. I mean, you can't play football. You can't play if you're not comfortable, in my opinion, as not just a player but a person. And I think they're getting more and more comfortable. Ben Feo had an unbelievable play today at free safety. I mean, unbelievable play. And, he didn't physically make the play, but how he played the route and how he played the coverage was phenomenal on that. Ran down the field to congratulate him. It was such a good play.
Anybody else jumping out at you, Ramar Williams or Robert Smith?
Yeah, I think there's Albert's jumping out for sure. I mean, there's quite a few, to be honest, young guys jumping out right now. Can they crack the depth? Who knows? That's the best part about this team is, we say all the time, before, you're traveling 70-something guys, right? You're probably beating out 10 to 13, maybe 15 guys, right? Now we're traveling 70, let's say 5 guys. You got to beat out 30 guys, 30 players, 30 dogs if you want to make that travel roster, and that starts with special teams. So I think our special teams is that area that I think can have the most growth.
Coach, I want to ask you about to have Brian Ward a part of the staff, beginning when you arrived to now, what you've been able to do for this program.
Yeah, I mean, Brian cares about this place. He loves the city. He used to deliver water to the stadium. So, it matters to him. He likes it here. And I think that's what we try to do with our entire staff is not just get good football coaches, not just get good people, but get people who have some sort of connection here or something bigger than just Arizona State of why they want to be here to create continuity. And I think he's one of the pieces that show that they wanted to be here. I mean, that guy could have had opportunities last year to leave, but he wanted to be here.
Coach, you mentioned special teams. What about Charlie Ray after having him this level? What did you do this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Charlie brings a different level of energy and juice. And I feel like I joke around. I said, I'm the specialist coach this year. You're the special teams coach. I'm coaching specialists because we're kicking the crap out of it. We're punting the crap out of it. We're snapping the crap out of it. So I'm the specialist coach. So I'm fired up about that.
You talked about how you're pleased with Tyson and supporting each other. How have they also done a great job supporting the young guys?
Yeah, by example. I think anytime that you set an example high like that, the young guys have to try to achieve that. And I think when you look at Sip, I think Sip's somebody who embodies our program. And then you look at a guy like Raleek, and you look at, maybe people's perception of him 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago when he left his last place and showed up here versus who he is right now. I mean, dude's gained 20 pounds. Dude's one of the smartest kids on our team. Dude's GPA is the highest it's ever been. He's early to everything. He's in the Colts up all the time. It's like to see his growth as a person and have that affect the player. I mean, that's why you coach.
And what about the offensive line too, Coach? When you see, like, obviously you coming up here, you're saying growing bonds, but just how they've developed so far this fall camp.
Yeah, I mean, our O-line's done a really good job. I mean, I'm very, very pleased with where they're at, shaking up Ben Coleman in there and Jametto taking his spot and the other guys returning and getting bigger, stronger, or smaller, stronger, right, in Skrilla's case. So it's been good. I mean, I really like what they did in third and short period today.
He just hit another 55-yarder today, although the altitude helps him out a little bit. What have you just seen from him from a consistency standpoint?
I told the guys, I mean, if he's kicking, like, I may not even watch. I may just go talk to somebody else because I have a lot of confidence he's making it. And that's how much confidence I have in him. Like, is he going to miss some kicks? Yeah. But you know what? He's going to miss them good. Like, it's gonna have a chance, right? The worst thing is when it doesn't have a chance, right? As long as he does what he does and he cares. His care level's so high. That's why I have so much confidence. We go through walkthroughs, and guess what he's doing? He's doing his steps. For 35 minutes, he'll be taking his steps over and over and over again. Then he comes out, hits a 55-yarder, whatever it is, blink, doesn't even blink, makes it by 7 yards, 8 yards, go to the next period.
What's your preview for Dodge?
I think we may have to cancel it. I'm kidding. I don't know. I haven't studied the teams, to be honest, but I'll look at the teams today. I may pick a few teams to stack so I can pick the winning team and rock and roll.
Are you going to participate this year?
No participation.
Well, you had an excuse last year.
What was my excuse?
Didn't you have a knee thing?
Oh, you're right. I had my torn patella.
So what's the excuse this year?
I'm not on the team. We break up into 10 teams, and I'm not one of the 10 coaches that get a team. Just like I don't get a campfire. There's a lot of negative being a head coach. You don't get your campfires where you get to talk to the guys, right? You don't get to meet in a position room. You don't get to play dodgeball. You don't get to be a part of the team skits, right? You really just become a boring person that kind of sits in the corner.
You get a s'more though.
I stole a s'more from this table over here. I went over to their group, and I took one before they got started. I was like, this is BS. I've been here 3 years. I've had 0 s'mores.
Kenny, how would you describe the passion and the zest for life that Jimmy brings to this team?
I mean, you can't describe it. I mean, great energy all the time, even with what he's been through. Unbelievable energy. He impacts other people. And I think he was one of the people last year that impacted our program to such a degree because he just brought the passion and energy every single day. So, I mean, to see his family always out here and supporting him, it's a great thing to see. Thank you.
Have kind of reshaped that room with older guys. I think that's what's critical. Is obviously there's talent. We had talent last year, but I think the guys that we have in there this year, just a veteran group, and their approach is much different. And I think when you get that, you see the result. They show out here for sure.
Coach was saying earlier, you bring some juice to special teams, but he's calling himself a specialist coach.
I said, how convenient. I want to check back in like December and see if he's still a specialist coach. You know, that's what I told the guys today. We've had a really good, 7 practices. Today we looked good in field goal. Our punts were, a little off. Some of that had to do with the snaps, but hey, these are times where you got to show out, and it only matters when you show out on Saturdays. That's what matters, right? It's game day. And so we have a talented group. They have to perform when the lights come on. They know that. But I'm good. He can be the specialist coach, and I'll keep bringing the juice.
How's Gomez done, like, compared to like what you hoped or expected?
I think he's right on par with our expectations. And, you know, he's tremendously hard on himself. And he strives for perfection. And I know we've talked about this a little bit. Sometimes I tell him, like, look, man, perfection can be a deterrent from greatness. So you got to let yourself breathe a little bit. And so that's probably my biggest thing with him, is trying to coach him through being so hard on himself. But I think he's been just what we believed he would be. And again, it's a season. He's got to execute, but I have all the faith in the world that he will.
Is his leg about as good as you've seen?
Yeah, he's about as good as they get. I mean, I told you, I thought that was going to be 50, and it was closer to 55, you know, and he hit that with probably a good 5 to spare. Again, we're up here at elevation, but I would feel comfortable in a game situation, you know, that he could go out there and hit that 55 anywhere in the country, you know. So ideally, we don't want that. So Marcus, if he can do me a little favor and get a few more yards. But no, he absolutely.
When you talk about Matt McKenzie, it's not only getting used to also punting non-Australian style, but also holding. How do you think he's been done with the acclimation process?
Well, I take it one step further. It's just getting used to everything here in the States, right? Like every day is a new day for him. It's awesome, because he's always got so many questions, and he's like, Coach, I got a question for the day. And so I give him a lot of grief, but he's awesome. He's naturally playing Australian rules footy. He's got great hands, and so it's just a matter of him, you know, working different type of ball structure in terms of the shape. But he's getting accustomed to that, and he's getting better every day in all facets.
To piggyback off that, how do you feel Canyon and Jesus have been getting on the same page?
They're in lockstep, you know, and they both just continue to get better with that hold and the placement, and then that's critical, you know. And you know, speaking of Canyon, I mean, he has punted tremendous up into today. He was a little bit off. Some of that again were some snaps, but he'll bounce back. We got a great competition going with those two in that room.
You know, and you've said before too, obviously with Canyon holding that he's able to kick. How much of almost kind of more of an advantage is to have a holder that has obviously had success kicking as well?
Well, he's so versatile. That he ran 2 fake punts. He can throw it. He can run. He's an athlete, and that's part of why we recruited him. You know, because of being the athlete that he is. And you know, we talked about getting work on the kickoffs, and so he went out and when you see those great kickers, when they come through, they hit that thing, and it's almost like a hurdle, right? And what did he do his senior year? He went out and ran track and ran the hurdles, and that tells you what kind of kid he is. So very pleased. Long way to go, but we're tracking the right way.
How about Ralik's potential as a returner?
Oh man, you see that today. I love it. You know, we sat down in the summer, and we went through, and I told him, I was like, look, here, let me tell you about a guy named Darren Spoils. And I put him up on my board. I had a cut-up made of him from college to the NFL, and when he went to the combine, it's from the story, they laughed at him, you know, he's too small, you know, too short, all those things, and he only went on to have an amazing NFL career. And I'm not saying Ralik's Darren Spoils just yet, but has that kind of explosiveness. It's unique. You don't see guys like him that have that ability to, you know, make people miss and then go from 0 to 100 like that, you know. And he's worked. I'm very proud of him because he's worked so hard this summer on catching punts, which is not easy. It's tough to do, and he's gotten really good at it. So I'm really excited for him in this season.
Kenny's mentioned that there's a lot of guys fighting to make the traveling squad, and you got to battle against other dogs. Now special teams can be a big part of that. Have you noticed any dogs so far?
Well, I have. I mean, I really have, and I think that's one thing. Before I answer that, like directly, I think that's the one thing we've increased our depth. And so, though our numbers have shrunk, which, you know, in theory hurts us, right? But the quality has gotten better per se. And so, you know, with that being said, you start looking at some guys like Rodney Bimmage, who redshirted for us last year, has made tremendous plays for us. Zachariah Samples is another one, you know. I got to sit here and think about it, you know. But there's several. Zachariah has really showed out, and he was a guy that, you know, was down a bit at the receiver spot. You start making plays in the special teams world, and now all of a sudden, guess what? He's going to find him a spot on the plane. So we're, you know, everybody's optimistic in camp, but this is the deepest we've been since we've been here for sure.
How cool is it for you to have fans that come up from the Valley every day to watch?
This is, I mean, look, you know, yeah, it's a little warmer than usual, which, okay, if I had one gripe, that would be it. It's a little warmer, but like, just, I mean, yeah, I love it. Like, I mean, look at this. We're playing football. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And to have people come up and show how much they care about ASU football, obviously Saturday's the crescendo, and what an awesome event that'll be. It's pretty special, and you just got to take it all in, and it's humbling, and we're very appreciative to be here and be a part of it.
I think about people coming an hour and a half, 2 hours just to come out and watch a practice up here. It means they're pretty dedicated Sunday fans.
They love their Devils if they're doing that. There's no doubt about it, and you got to take your hat off to them. I mean, those are the people you feel compelled for when you go out and you maybe your guys don't perform the way they do, or you feel like I could have done something better coaching. Those are the people that you're like, oh man, because they really care. And that's what it's all about.
You mentioned your one gripe might be the heat. Kenny was talking yesterday how the facilities are a little bit dated, but it's a sign that you guys have been coming here year after year for the longest time. In an era of college football where everybody seems to change everything every year, how important is it for this culture to come back to this setting every year?
I think above everything else, what it does is it brings us together. Going up and sitting by the fires and just getting to, intimately know each other. I think that, and that's what I told the young guys last night. We have built, and you hear our guys talk about it, like the culture is real. And I said, listen, you young guys, it's up to you to continue to grow and foster that. Because when these older guys leave, somebody has to take the reins. And if we're going to continue to progress the way we want to as a program, that is at the top of our list to continue our success. And I think Camp T is the focal point of where that really starts for each season.
Thanks, Charlie.
Awesome. Appreciate
Think of practices so far up here? I mean, they've been warmer than usual, So, but they've been good. But it's been warm and not usually the respite from the heat that we get in the valley. But it's always productive when we can get out here and work the things that we're getting. So,
going live today, what do you think about how that looked?
Well, I mean, we start off our first live period in third and short, and we have our base third and short, and we all know every year, every week we got a game plan, what we think teams are doing. And so we had our base plan going in, it was close to being really good for us, but it was really good for the offense, and did a nice job, and that was our first live period. We got to get back to, fundamentals defensively and tackling, and that's, you can simulate it all you want, but when it's real, it's real. So, it's great to go against a great offense and feel like we're a great defense too. So we're only going to get better in those situations.
Has it been like that throughout camp, where it's just like punch hard, punch back, and you guys are going at each other?
That's been the way it's been. It was just kind of like, it's been, yesterday, I think the offense started fast, and we got consistent throughout the middle of practice, and we're able to do our base stuff and execute at a high level. And then, we started off, and the short yardage period wasn't great and wasn't good for us. We got out physical, and we weren't tackling, and had an opportunity to make some plays, we just didn't do it. And they started the team series fast today, and then we played really good red zone defense. You know what I mean? So it really is, and we got, I think, two good sides of the ball working against each other, and you're also working depth too. So, like offense and defense, we're mixing and matching. So like not knowing, like, hey, there's still competitive positions out there. We're still figuring out, where the depth is and where we're going to put guys and getting guys back from, Nix and. So it's nothing but positive right now, and it's definitely a testament to our team's growth and our depth of where we were 2 years ago here at Camp T. So it's exciting to be out here.
What's it like to have so many guys returning, not only starters but guys?
It's good, but it's also challenging. Like there's little details, and sometimes when you have success, sometimes guys miss the things that led to that success on a daily basis. And it's one of those things, we got to have the defense come out faster in some of these practices, and I think it's a testament to some of our older guys making young guy mistakes, and being comfortable cannot be a good thing. So we're trying to get our guys to not seek comfort. We're trying to, we want them to seek challenge right now, because we know the challenges that lie ahead this season. So, that's on us as coaches to continue to challenge our guys and not let them be comfortable. And it's a challenging
All right, so CJ, another practice done here at Camp T, but just your thoughts of the first few days up here for the team.
It's been good work. It's been fun, just be able to be with the guys, have this experience, to be able to go through with them another year. A lot of guys were here last year, so new guys, the guys from last year, be able to just have the new experience and get good work in at the same time. It's a blessing.
Like you said, having new guys come up here, like you said, being back here, what's, I guess, like the biggest difference for you? Is it a little more fun this year, and how much is it like just kind of, I guess, like passing on this tradition to the younger guys so they understand like just the importance of it?
Yeah, it's really, at this point, most of us, most time, threw me off. Most of the people here already know what to expect, so they know what to bring. Know the sleeping's not going to be the best, but I think everybody was kind of surprised when we first got here. So people just didn't embrace it and enjoy it as much as I think we have now. So I think at this point, everybody's starting to embrace it. Everybody knows it's not going to be the best living situations, but at the same time, we get to do it with our brothers, so we find a way to make it fun. So so being able to do that with all the guys, it's been fun.
And then I know, obviously, Coach talked about, and you guys have talked about writing the letters from last year and reading them. I'm not asking what you said, but have you got a chance to read your letter yet?
Yes, actually, I last night. We were talking at the campfire, and then I went over there and read it. And I love that what they have going right there. I love being able to write things out. I think words are powerful. So I think being able to write out what you want to see from yourself, and then going back and seeing how it played out, what you did to make it play out. Did I do everything I needed to make this happen? So it's just kind of like a reflective moment that I really enjoy, and I'm glad we're doing it. I can't wait to be able to write one this time, put more into it. I think I was a little general and broad this past last year, so when I read it, I really didn't know what I wrote until I read it. And I feel like this time I should really put more into it, just to be able to get the most out of it.
Saw you interacting with Rudy. You get some fans out here. What does ASU Rudy mean to this program, and what is your relationship like with him?
Really, he shows what it is to be a true Sun Devil, a true lifer. Seeing him at practice, seeing him here, it's beautiful to see. Every time you see him, you just smile. You go over there and talk to him, and he always has a smile on his face no matter what's going on. So to be able to see him, he's been through ages of ASU football, and he still brings us newspapers and he sees of us. So Rudy's our guy. We love Rudy. It's great to see him out here. It's great to see him at practice. Anytime we get to see him, it's a blessing to see him.
You said this is like his maybe 66. He lost count of 50 Camp Ts. When you hear that and to know that somebody's been doing that since the Frank Kush days and he's still supporting this generation, what does that mean for you as a player?
Like I said, it shows a true Sun Devil fan, a true lifer. So, we love fans like him. He's not the only one, but he's the one that's out there, and it's the one that we really appreciate. He's here, he shows up, and we have nothing but to appreciate him.
And how do you feel that, because I talked to Clayton the other day, saying Coach Reynolds, not just a coach, more like family, but especially with developing the younger guys, a lot of returners, but just how do you feel your relationship, your leadership with the younger guys on the D-line has helped this group develop so far and get that depth that Coach has been talking about?
Yeah, I think it all starts with relationships. I feel like people can receive things better if they know who you are, and you can get across to somebody if you know who they are. So being able to build a relationship first, knowing who I'm talking to, knowing what I can say to certain people, how to go about certain things, how some people like to be coached, how some people don't like to be coached, how sometimes I might have to pull somebody over and talk to them, and sometimes I just have to tell somebody straight up right now, like, hey, lock in, or do something like that. So, I think it starts with a relationship, and we only go as far as we want to, so we really have to push each other. Once I'm down, I need somebody to push me. If somebody else is down, I got to push them. So it's just a thing of calling each other up, as we say. We don't want to call anybody out when we call each other up. So going about that every day, making sure everybody. See, I hear Watt talking about pushing everybody. So that's just how we go about things. Because we really are truly brothers here. Like, we've been together this long, so we truly have that bond where it's like we're not always gonna see eye to eye, but I know if I need him to call me up, he will. Or if he needs to be called up, I feel like people can receive things better if they know who you are, and you can get across to somebody if you know who they are. So being able to build a relationship first, knowing who I'm talking to, knowing what I can say to certain people, how to go about certain things, how some people like to be coached, how some people don't like to be coached, how sometimes I might have to pull somebody over and talk to them, and sometimes I just have to tell somebody straight up right now, like, hey, lock in, or like do something like that. So, I mean, I think it starts with a relationship, and we only go as far as we want to, so we really have to push each other. Once I'm down, I need somebody to push me. If somebody else is down, I got to push them. So it's just a thing of calling each other up, as we say. We don't want to call anybody out when we call each other up. So going about that every day, making sure everybody. See, I hear Watt talking about pushing everybody. So that's just how we go about things, because we really are truly brothers here. Like, we've been together this long, so we truly have that bond where it's like we're not always gonna see eye to eye, but I know if I need him to call me up, he will. Or if he needs to be called up, I'll be, or somebody else will be. So it's just having a relationship with everybody to be able to grow in.
And then Coach talked about, for going live today, Coach Warriors was talking about, tackle a little bit, first thing, you can simulate it all you want, but going live today, going against the ones, how do you just feel the defense responded today with going live?
I think we had a poor day, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, if it's not our best day, I'm gonna be a hard critic. I mean, we didn't have a good day in my eyes. Really, many people's eyes, if you really watched it. So, I mean, it's just about a response. So, I mean, it's gonna happen. You have days that the offense gonna win. You have days defense gonna win. That's when you have a good team. So it's not something to hang be moping around about, but it's just something to grow on. That's not us. We know we need to get better, but it is what it is. We're gonna just get better, continue to grow, and it starts with us. So let's keep pushing.
And lastly, I got to ask you, I didn't hear from your dad. Where's Tank, man? It's Camp T. Where's Tank?
Nah, they're in Louisiana. My brother had a graduation tomorrow, and my dad's birthday tomorrow, so they're all gonna be together enjoying that.
CJ,
locker room and stuff like that, but I think it was good. I think it was a battle on both sides. I think that's good. You don't want one side of the ball just beating up on the other side too much. Then then it's kind of concerns there. But offense made plays, defense made plays. Going back and forth. It looked like it was very physical out there. That's the main thing. That's our main thing with people coming to Sundance Stadium. We go on the road. We want people to feel us when we're playing after the game, before the game. The next week after that. We want people to think like, man, that ASU team is physical, and they came to play. So I think it wasn't our best day, because obviously it's first day live. Some people probably trying to knock the rust off, but I think it was a good day to start it and build off of.
Speaking of building, the young guys, you've seen guys, I know coaches have talked about, how Rodney's just developed, and even Jack Ball is come in, getting those reps, and you guys being the vets and talking to and working with them. How do you feel that they've responded, and that is kind of the defense becoming, for you guys, almost more second nature to them and muscle memory?
Yep. I think they respond well. Fall camp can be very mentally, physically, emotionally draining on you, especially for younger guys that really haven't did it. And, especially with a coach like Coach Ward and this Coach Dilly, this program, it's always a standard in everything that we do. So I really feel like those guys have raised, their play and raised up to the standard. Just seeing them from spring and seeing the growth and jumps that they've made, from then until now, and these little amount of practices just over the summer, walkthroughs, just paying attention to, the older guys in front of them, like me, Ghost, things of that nature. I feel like Jeff. I feel like they coming away a long way. So yeah.
They sure is. All right. What you talking about? Yeah.
Nice photo, video, Bond.
when you look at too. You mentioned Coach Ward, and I know I asked you in the spring, the word easy is not the best word, but him calling the defense and your guys' communication. How much do you feel between the end of last season, or even the end of spring, and just the growth and knowing what he wants to get done, being able to communicate it, and you guys being able to look at each other, but just how do you feel that his play calling has expanded and gotten and developed?
Hands down, best defensive coordinator I ever before. So far in life, I believe in every call that he makes, you know, and he also believes in us, and he's very honest. You know, he'll tell us like, hey, sometimes I'm not gonna have the right call, but you know that's why I got you guys, you know, to make me right, and you know that's our job. Sometimes if he doesn't make, you know, you feel like he doesn't make the right call, you know, to me I'm like, nah, that's the right call, coach. We got you. We're there. So when you have that, you know, I want to say connection, it makes the game easier. Like when he's calling plays, because he actually knows us as people. He knows, okay, I'm calling this to get this person in this position. I know what this person is gonna do, and vice versa. So it makes it so much easier. And then me after being with him for 3 years, you know, now I kind of already can know and feel what he's going to call before. So, you know, he kind of, you know, keeps it simple. He lets us go play fast, play physical. He's a great coach. He prepares us throughout the week. And then, you know, he tells us, like, for you know, Saturdays, that's y'all day to shine. You know, it's y'all day to put everything together. You know, I'm just here to support y'all, you know, do my job as well. So, you know, he's a great coach. Like I said, hands down, you know, best, probably smartest defensive coordinator I played with. Me and him have a great connection. We talk about anything all the time, football, not football. You know, I just love playing for him.
And then when you talk about that, keeping it simple, I know he had mentioned it last year, and Coach Cooper, and I think even you talking to me, you mentioned, like, whether it's the right call or wrong, but if somebody one of your teammates makes a mistake, he always talked about your guys' effort and going 100%. Because a lot of times, even like you're saying, if it's maybe not the right call, but you're going 100%, well, you guys just played into the right call. Or even if somebody goes the wrong way, makes the right call. When they're talking about that effort and you see it on film, how big is it for you big for you, but for the young guys to see that growth, to know, hey, don't overthink it, play it. Even if you make a mistake, look, you can make up for it.
You know, in football, people might think that it's like kind of cliche because every football team says like, oh, effort this, oh, effort that. But, you know, when you actually are us and we sit in there and watch the tape from games where we weren't in the right call, and then you just see a whole wave of maroon and gold just running towards the ball on a play that was supposed to be explosive, and we get them down to play the next play, then you kind of think, like, okay, maybe this effort thing does really work, you know. And, you know, we were, you know, one of the top teams in the country at limiting explosives. Coach Ward is very big on that. We pride ourselves on that. You know, we want to make everybody earn everything they get, you know. So we pride ourselves on running to the ball, you know, as fast as we can when we get there, making them feel that we're there, you know. So effort and physicality is something that you have to play in the program, but on defense, definitely it's something that you have to be second nature to you. So I think we pride ourselves on that, and, you know, I think we were in the position that we were in because of that.
And my last one for you, kind of non-footballish, but, well, non-football, like, did you get a chance to read the letter that you wrote to yourself last year? And not asking what you said, but how much of that did you accomplish, and how much more now do you have left to go?
It's crazy because everything on there I actually did, you know. I just wrote to myself, you know, you came a long way, you've been through a lot, you know, you pushed this far, you know, and, you know, it's kind of time to put the word on notice, you know, kind of signed it off to, you know, like off first team, whatever, this, that, you know, those are things, you know, I'm not really chasing, but, you know, I feel like if I better myself each and every day, play up to my standard, like I said, everybody knows, like, I'm my biggest, hardest critic, you know, I'm always on myself about being better. So, you know, I feel like it was just one of those things that I did, you know, to come back and read the letter. You know, I kind of just smiled a little bit. So it's going to be interesting, you know, after I write this last one and then, you know, put it up and come back and see, you know, what happens. So, you know, I'm kind of just a day-by-day guy, you know, take it day by day, get as much work as I can, get better each and every day, every opportunity, and take advantage and, you know, see what happens.
Zayvon, you mentioned the importance of the season for you, and like you mentioned just now, all the awards you feel like you can deserve and be able to be on those types of teams. For you, how do you feel physically, mentally, emotionally at this point, getting ready for the season and kind of taking last year's success and recuperating out of something new this year?
I feel great. I feel like the type of person I am, I have like great recall. So like putting myself in certain situations, coming back, analyzing it, and then going back into that same situation, I feel like is like kind of me. That's really me. So I feel like, you know, everybody knows my story after sitting out for 1,000 days and then coming back, having the season I had. Didn't really think I played good. Was trying to, you know, kind of get my feet wet the first couple games. But, you know, after, you know, doing that and now having that confidence, things of that nature, I'm really focusing on the little things like this step, this or that, you know, because I get to go back and watch the film from actual games now and see like, okay, I did this wrong. Maybe this will put me closer, things of that nature. But, you know, I feel great. You know, I feel mature. You know, I feel like it's my last year of college, you know, and really for the last year, I just really want to put it all together. you know, be a leader. Show the young guys kind of like a blueprint, you know, how it's supposed to go, like how you're supposed to go out, you know, the way you go out, you know. Obviously, everybody's like, why you come back and things of that nature. I could have left, but, you know, I can't leave this place. You know, I feel like it was a lot more for us to do as a team. Obviously, a lot more out there for me as a player. And, you know, I just wanted to, like I said, lead these young guys with a great example. So, you know, whenever I'm going and playing at the next level, whatever, I come back here and it's just a continuing process. So I feel good. I feel great.
To speak on that note about you potentially being able to have left after this last season, gone, put your name in the NFL draft hat, and staying for another year, was that a tough decision to make? Like, were you contemplating for a while, like, oh man, should I stay, should I go?
No, it's not tough at all when you're around these people. Like, when you're around people like this, you know, I've been to Texas, been to USC, been in those big programs, you know, was a highly recruited kid, all that, and then just seeing that, and then growing up as a kid, you know, playing Little League. It was always family environment, going to places I go, and then when I landed here, I really feel like I was at home, like literally, like no other school have I been out in the woods, you know, not phone service where I'm actually comfortable, you know, I could do it for 3 years, and I'm like, oh, it's actually not that bad, you know. But it's definitely the people here that make it, from the coaching staff, players, media, training staff, just everybody. It's definitely the people here that made it easy for me to stay. It was like, you know what, I know what I'm coming back into. You know, I just did it. Why, you know, I wanted to do it, but, you know, why not? You know, why not go out the right way? You know, why not, put our best foot forward, you know, and try to get it done. So,
lastly for me, big dodgeball tournament going on tomorrow. I know you probably got your team squared away. How you feeling about your roster and how you looking for tomorrow?
See, last year we made it to like the semifinals. The referees were kind of sketchy last year, you know, so hopefully I get to talk, you know, on behalf of my team to the refs and stuff, like, hey, at least can y'all get this right, or can y'all at least be on our side, you know, things of that nature. But I feel like we really got a really good chance because we kind of have a lot of tweeners, not too many big guys, not too many small guys, kind of guys that's really athletic, can move around. So, you know, I think we got a good shot. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting when it comes.
Really good day. I mean, defense dominated. I mean, pretty much the entire day. Like I told the guys after the game, like, you win games ugly. Then the last drive, it's the best drive of the entire day in a 2-minute drill. When we say it's the last series, the offense responds and scores a touchdown to win. And it's a great example of you find a way to win football games, right? You're in a rut the entire game. At the end of the game, you figure it out on offense. Defense, you kept us in it so our offense could figure it out. And I thought it was a really good day.
You worked out up a lot of blitzes. Was that part of what you thought you'd get today?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be a team that pressures and attacks. You know, we want to attack teams. We don't want to be dictated to. So that's something that we just believe in. And the older of a group we get, the more we can do.
How do you feel like this group responded to the adversity of the conditions? It's always something you look for during this week.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a good job. I mean, this was practice 6 in a row. So this is our longest stretch, obviously, at camp. From here on out, we really only go 3-day stretches. We more simulate game weeks in terms of like off, light. So we try to simulate a game week scrimmage. But from this point, this was the longest stretch, and I thought the guys had good energy today. I thought our defense made plays. I thought our defense stopped the run. Thought we had some explosive runs. You know, we held out JT. Malik he tweaked, so we pulled him out early. So it was a good competition for the offense to go out there without Shaman, Malik, and JT and go for some really good defense. And guess what? It's hard. So and at the end of the day, they responded though. So I was really pleased with how our team acted up here. I thought we got closer.
Are those mostly minor things?
Yeah. Nothing serious. Shaman's out. It's like precautionary concussion protocol. So he's on his way back. Like he was already jogging around today. And Malik's precautionary as well. So those are, like I said, we're trying to be safe, especially with even JT. Day 4 on this turf. And he's a high workload guy. He's in the 700s when he goes and practices. So we tried to get other guys reps, and JT and Sam already have a pretty solid bond. So we wanted to kind of force some other guys to build a bond. I think we did that at the end with Turbo having 2 nice plays there. I think is really good for our football team because now Sam and Turbo can kind of build a little bit of a connection. Looks like they are building it.
How do you feel the young guys responded?
How about this crowd today? 1,000 people.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I mean, how could you not get excited to play in this? So, our guys, they enjoyed it up here. I mean, that song, the whole fight, team slide or whatever, that was one of the songs that Sam's team and their team created for our little fight song remix. And it caught on so heavy that we just sing the regular fight song to the fans, and then they're over here singing this remix fight song that they created out here for fun. And that's what I told them going into the season. You should be creating memories this year. If you're not creating memories, right, then who cares, right? Yeah, football season's supposed to create memories, good, bad, happy, sad, right? And I think that moment on the field on that Thursday night, you can tell it was a memory because they're thinking about it on Saturday after a scrimmage.
How do you think the offensive line is progressing?
Yeah, I think they're progressing well. I mean, obviously, when you have a guy like Leaf back there last year and the snaps are right here every time, that's something that is a great challenge. It's not just sacks. I mean, it's not just bad snaps that, people look at. It's how do you throw screen game if the snap's not right here? You can't do it efficiently. You can't throw screen game from up here. How are you going to throw the ball from up here all day at quarterback? How are you going to throw it from down here? How can you run zone read game? So snap location, if you're a gun team, is probably one of the most underrated things people talk about. All people think about with centers is, was there a fumble, right? It's not kicking. Kicking, you either make it or you don't. Snapping is not like that. It's not the catastrophe, right? It is the consistency, right, of it. So I think the O-line's doing well. I think that's the area that Ben's been doing a way better job of, but we got to continue to grow in it.
What are your thoughts on the way AJ you played?
Yeah, he had a good day. Some people I expect to play well. I mean, AJ, he ran with the 3s today, and I think he's better than the 3. I mean, he's better than that, and he played well in that setting, and he should. That's what's expected of him.
How do you feel the young guys responded?
Not much embarrassing plays, I would say today. Not tons of full starts. We had one horrible full start in the red area, but we looked organized. We looked efficient. We didn't look like a cluster for the first scrimmage live scrimmage with no coaches on the field. None of it. We looked efficient. We have a long way to go, though. A long way to go, but I definitely liked how they operated, I would say that.
Your take on Turbo and what he's kind of shown in the last couple of weeks?
He's had a really good camp. Him and Malik have both had just really, really good camps. So you saw it today. I mean, he can't throw the ball at the end, but it's part of him growing. I mean, still sophomore, so that's part of it. But, I mean, big play at the end. He responded to Hines ripping his butt for throwing the ball down with a touchdown 2 plays later. So I think that's what we look for as a coaching staff is which guys can get rattled and which guys just make the next play. And that was a really good sign for him.
How reflective of just the overall camp was today's defensive performance?
And not really reflective at all, really. I mean, the other day in practice, the offense absolutely dominated our first live period. Like it was take this scrimmage and flip it upside down. And you had Thursday's practice. But I think that's what good teams do. I mean, you have a dominant day on offense, then you have an off day, then you come back and you have a dominant day on defense, then the offense scores in the last possession of the day in a 2-minute drill. I think good teams go back and forth and have their days, and then the offense is going to be pissed, and then they're probably going to talk about how they got to respond, and then hopefully they have a better day. So I think that's what good teams do. Good teams go back and forth.
So you've been saying having some conversations on the sideline, I guess. How does he kind of communicate with you? What's kind of that dynamic like?
I mean, I just asked him, what do you see? Why'd you throw that? Why do you like that? Would you prefer a different call? Why did you not work this side of the field? Why didn't you change? Why did you change this pro? Why didn't you? I asked more questions than actually tell him what to do. At the end of the day, they're going to see the game how they see it, right? They may never see it like me. That's not my job. My job is to understand how a quarterback sees it, not get a quarterback to see it like me, right? And if I understand how they see it, maybe I can tweak how they see it in their own way that is closer to me, but not the same way. You can't coach everybody the same. Not everybody's a robot, right? So I just like to listen and get feedback from him and then give me what I saw, and then ask him, well, if you would have saw that, what would you have done different or anything? And I just like to communicate. But I think it all starts with what he sees.
Kendrick and Boogie are two newcomers in a secondary room that lost kind of their biggest leader last year in Shamari. How do you feel like those guys have adjusted to being in Tempe?
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job. I mean, X and Rouser were two of the biggest leaders on our team last year, as well as Shamari. And but those guys have stepped up really good. Boogie had a big play today. I mean, our depth is pretty good. It's better than it's been in the past. And I think that's a testament just to Coach Joe and a testament to the culture that's being created here that people want to be a part of. And that people aren't scared to compete here.
Coach, you said you had a long
You hit me.
Coach, you said you had a long way to go yet, but do you feel like you got accomplished what you wanted to get accomplished?
There's something red on your back.
Yeah, I'm sweaty. I do feel like we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. I mean, the guys I think they're closer than when they came in. We got to tackle live. We made tackles. We didn't allow a big play. There wasn't a catastrophic explosive from the defense. We had some big runs, but we didn't allow that big play to happen, which we did the day prior. So I think that was huge growth from our defense, and that's why you got to tackle. Like I had Coach Ward talk to the team yesterday, like, hey, in year 47, you were in the NFL, right? Because he played so long, it's impressive. Did they still have you play preseason games? I said, yes. Were you still alive? Yes. Like, in order to play football, you have to play football before you play football. Now, do we want to play 9 preseason games in camp? No. But do we want to play in our 1s and 2s? Do they need to go play 2 games, 2.5 games of preseason ball to get ready for NAU? Yes, they do. And I think today was one of those days.
Coach, the crowd you mentioned earlier, it's bigger than before. His earliest memories are going to be big crowds, not watching the crowd grow. What's it mean to you that his first memories are going to be of a nice crowd at Camp T?
What do you think? Is it a big crowd today? Yeah. No? Tough crowd.
He's hard to impress.
Tough crowd. I mean, it's special. It's really cool. I mean, for him to be able to grow up and come up here, have a tradition, and not just him, but all the kids that come up here and
Go wake your behind up for again. Hey, that's your fun though. I like that. Hand the hand. Hand the hand. Too high on the hand. Be tight. Rotate. There we go. Butt straight. Hit. Boom. Hand the hand. Hold tight. Good. Butt feet. There you go. Middle. Boom. Right. Boom. Left. Boom. Wake it up. Go. Sit. Hit. Boom. Middle. Boom. Right. Boom. Left. Boom. Sit. Hit. Hold tight. Good. Hand the hand. Good. Go sit. Sit. Hit. Going tight. Lower. Tighter. Right. Shoot the hands. Bring the ground the man. Sit. Hit. Here. All you gotta do is lean on. Here we go. Sit. Hit.
Obviously, another Camp T in the books again. I know everybody. It's funny because 7, which is again awesome. I mean, talking to Rudy, I mean, he can't even remember. It's over 50.
I know.
When you hear a number like that, obviously, I mean, people talk about college sports and it is about tradition and the pageantry and the tradition. But for somebody like him to be coming up here when it's been going on for over 50 years, I mean, as a Sun Devil, as a alum, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm Rudy's personal security. So whenever Rudy makes and then I go find them. But there's so many picture me when they're 3 and now they're 12, 13, 14 years old, and it's like those things that's what this is all about. I think for me, I'm so used to it, and I try not to take it for granted, but I always get to ask some of our freshmen and then our new staff members, I'm like, how was this journey for you? How was this kind of being up here? And just it's so fun to hear their expression, because this is such a special place for me, and it's so nice to hear them to feel that engagement, to see this community. I saw so many of the freshmen just take a look around today, and it's an environment where they get a little bit of a game feel vibe. It's good for them from a performance standpoint. We get to see who can play in front of a crowd, and it's also great to see them interact with the community. So it's incredible. I feel like we got a lot of I don't know how it just happened this year, but a lot of good national recognition too of just what this place means to this ASU community. And it's just fun to see people in other communities, especially being a new conference. A lot of people get to see some unique cultures, and this is definitely one of them.
And when you talk about the frat, I want to think about that. So obviously, each year goes by, and Coach always say, cutting off.
Of just what this place means to this ASU community, and it's just fun to see people in other communities, especially being a new conference. A lot of people get to see some unique cultures, and this is definitely one of them.
And when you talk about the frat, I want to think about that. So obviously, each year goes by, and Coach always say, cutting off from technology. I mean, I think back even when I was in school at ASU, when I came here in the mid '90s. I mean, maybe some people started to have cell phones, but there was nothing, and it's like that. But is it like more of a technology, but to kind of get the freshmen to be like, no, you're not packing that. Like, don't take that.
It happens fast. I think they don't got the video games up here. It's just. I think they're excited to come out here playing cornhole, hang out on the field, go hike the mountain, just play cards. I mean, we played cards for hours last night. Like, I think they enjoy those moments, and this allows us to kind of push them and give them that guidance where, hey, there's a time and a place and there's a space for them to break bread and hang out like that and just be casual, not on the video game, and just kind of break away and disconnect for a little bit.
Right, and speaking of the breaking bread, and I asked quite a few of the players, obviously not everything they wrote, but how cool is it to see the players, whether they, shared them with everybody else or not, but just to open those letters back up that they wrote last year and just read them back to themselves?
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. I love that tradition Coach Dillingham started. And you get to see guys first of all, it's funny to see him write a letter without typing. I'm watching some of them write, they're like, okay. So that part's funny, but it's a good moment for them to reflect, and that's what Camp T is for me. It was for me as a player to reset, reload, and reflect, and get ready for the year that's ahead of you, and also just appreciate how far you come. And I think that's what that letter's about, is to remember all the trials and errors and all the grind that you put in to be in this position to go out there and hopefully advance to get to a better place than where you were before as an individual and as a collective group.
And then when you see the groups out here working, I mean, obviously today culminating in the scrimmage, I mean, the defense, Coach Dillingham talking, man, the defense, I mean, again, and early in the season, almost in any sport, whether, you say baseball, like, oh, football, defense might be ahead of the offense. Not that they don't have schemes, but I mean, this is kind of almost 2 seasons in a row where the defense came out and set that tone. Just your thoughts of the scrimmage today.
Yeah, I mean, as an offensive guy, I can respect and appreciate always championships. Defense wins championships. You always hear that. You always hear that quote. Coach Ward was dialed up today. He was sending a lot of looks at our offense. And again, as an offensive perspective, you game plan for stuff like that. We're out here on offense trying to run our base stuff, getting the flow, see what guys can do what. But it's good competition, and that's what this camp's been. Every day, I mean, it goes period by period. Offense will have a good period, defense will have a good period. And it's better to see that than offense has a good day, defense has a good day. You see a lot more of the battle back, kind of building off each other. So these guys are out here competing. A lot of good young players out here that are trying to take that next step. A lot of good vets that are teaching these young guys that are trying to, I mean, you learn by teaching sometimes. And the skill and everything has elevated, and I think that's where you're seeing a lot of good young talent. Guys are going out there to perform and make it last.
And I mean, you guys as a staff, obviously, you've seen elevated, but have talked about the depth too.
Yeah.
But also asked a lot of the guys too. I mean, from the start of camp and even like pre-camp, like, Coach said, okay, yeah, last year is last year, and spring ball, obviously everybody getting sick of hearing we are the champions. Like, I'm like, I was shocked Coach went that route, but then I get the whole annoying part of it. So like, we hear it, but everybody's attitude. I mean, even since the end of last year, after again, tough to stomach the Peach Bowl, but everybody's now, I know they didn't do the preseason poll this year, but like, everybody now is, hunting you because obviously success, you guys are champs, but everybody has, taken your guys' staff attitude of being the hunted. Have you seen, I mean, even in preparation with guys, I mean, in camp, like, have you just seen that, like, I mean, obviously the fire, so we see the competition, but they've kind of upped their game, maybe so in the avenue of coaching up the younger guys, like being player driven, but just still being the hunted, but also you're still hunting, and teams probably aren't going to really maybe expect that.
Yeah, I think learning how to sustain success is one of the hardest things to do. I mean, I was blessed to have that opportunity in New England and to be in a mindset to win a championship and reload and start from day one. And I think that honestly gave a lot of guys some experience too of that taste of like, okay, it's fun to play that far. It's fun to be in those big games. But then you got to see the work that requires to come with that. So I think it's just channeling that, having that reset, and Coach Dillingham and our staff have done a great job at saying, hey, like, this is a new team. You have to learn to refocus. You have to learn how to step your game up. Again, I mean, we're going to be circled on a lot of people's calendar. But again, I think it starts with us. It starts with within this team. understanding what we need to get better at every day, pushing each other to be their best versions. And again, I mean, even a lot of our guys that had that success last year, they're still relatively young in their college experience, which I think we forget sometimes. Even Sam, JT, you know, that was a lot of their first full year playing, you know, a full season of football. So these guys still have a lot of motivation. Individually and as collectively as a team, but the best thing is too, they're building with each other. They got a taste of that experience and success, and we got to just continue to figure out the work that goes with this and adapt to some of the changes. Challenges, so we just got to be ready and sharp to be able to face those when they come.
You know, speaking of ups and downs in leadership, I mean, obviously, you know, X had to sit out, and everybody, I mean, a lot of people obviously around us know his story. I mean, sitting out for 1,000 days, probably should have had his waiver, whatever. That's in the past, it didn't happen. But when somebody like that, I mean, comes back and like everything, because he even said last year, as good as he was playing, it's like, I didn't feel like I was clicking. I didn't feel like I was, he goes, I didn't feel like I was hurting the defense, but I didn't feel like I was helping. I'm like, that's just insane. But with his story specifically, when you look at that, to for other guys to see, like, you're playing, you love the game, but for him to have to sit out for so long, how much more do you think it means to him? And on top of that, it means to the team to hear that.
Absolutely. I mean, we have so many guys that have some incredible testimonies, and X is one of them. And his leadership through those days, and we talked about that other day as a team, I mean, his perseverance and his ability to be a great teammate when he couldn't contribute on the field. I mean, that's why he's in the position he is. And to his point, he said, I still feel like I can play better ball. And that's a You're finding a way to get on the field. You're finding a way to adapt and change as you transition from high school. Even if you're transferred from another school, it takes time to learn and to build and be a part of a culture. And when you have a good football team, there's good players with that. And you have to learn to compete with that. And that's how you become better. And that's how you continue to elevate, is by bringing in good players, having them adapt, having them kind of push the envelope and push the needle. So it's just fun to see these guys to compete, and the competition on this team, and also the brotherhood, and then they're teaching each other, they're helping each other grow. It's just so fun to see it expand and blossom like that.
All right. Well, speaking of expand and blossom, I got a kind of maybe cringing one, not cringing one for you, but being a Saguaro guy, is it still kind of funny for you to see Coach Regal and Coach Mons be nice and complimentary to each other?
Honestly, I've gotten so used to it, which is crazy. So sometimes I get a little reset moment, like, God.
Nice and complimentary to each other?
Honestly, I've gotten so used to it, which is crazy. So sometimes I get a little reset moment, like, gosh, we used to really be rivals. But it's just so fun, like, just to see the community. And a lot of the guys don't know them, like, between Iguano, Mons, and Regal, like, you got some of the three of the best high school football coaches the state has ever seen. And just a wealth of knowledge. They've been around young people for years. So it's just so fun to see them. There's so many times we get to sit down and chop ball. And we're in Arizona, we get to watch the high school ball and how it's progressed. There's always some friendly competition, a lot of smack talk throughout the year, throughout the fall, but it's just so fun. Guys that I've looked up to for my whole life to be here in this building, even Coach Dillingham, I remember him at Chaparral. Just so many coaches and their ties and connections to Arizona sports, and to see us here, it just adds that little bit more of motivation, that extra love to finding the details and the passion to come to work every day and to be a part of it. A lot of the guys don't know them, like, between Iguano, Mons, and Regal, like, you got some of the three of the best high school football coaches the state has ever seen. And just a wealth of knowledge. They've been around young people for years. So it's just so fun to see them. There's so many times we get to sit down and chop ball. And we're in Arizona, we get to watch the high school ball and how it's progressed. There's always some friendly competition, a lot of smack talk throughout the year, throughout the fall, but it's just so fun. Guys that I've looked up to for my whole life to be here in this building, even Coach Dillingham, I remember him at Chaparral. just so many coaches and their ties and connections to Arizona sports, and to see us here, it just adds that little bit more motivation, that extra love to finding the details and the passion to come to work every day and to be a part of it.
Go wake your behind up for again. Hey, that's your fun though. I like that. Hand the hand. Too high on the hand. Feel tight. Rotate. There we go. Butt straight. Hit. Move. Hand the hand. Hold tight. Good. Both feet. There you go. Middle. Boom. Right. Boom. Left. Boom. Wake it up. There you go. Sit. Hit. Boom. Middle. Boom. Right. Boom. Left. Boom.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great play.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scores.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But